A mom who helped search for others mysteriously disappears. A year later, where could she be? Here's a look at the case in DBL's True Crime Chronicles.
Andrea Knabel was 37 years old. She was a mother of two, daughter and sister, living in Louisville, Kentucky. She was also a member of Missing in America, an online group who helped search for people whose cases went cold.
She was pretty bright, really eager, wanting to learn, to tune her investigative abilities. She was kind of a keyboard sleuth.
Could her involvement in that group have led to her disappearance?
You fail every day when you don't find her.
Let's go back to where it all began. It was summer 2019. Andrea was struggling to get her life on track.
She was evicted from her home, so I feel like she was probably overwhelmed and depressed with her situation, just as anybody would be with all that happening.
Andrea lost her home and her job. On August 12th, she went to her sister Erin's house to vent.
I told her maybe you should just go home and rest it off, and everything will be fine in the morning.
Little did Erin know that was the last time she would see her sister. Days later, she files a missing persons report, and investigators quickly began tracking Andrea's last moves from her cell phone.
She was taken to a McDonald's with the sister's boyfriend and her nephew.
There was nothing out of the ordinary. Phone records show she went back to her mother's house around 6:30 in the morning, where she made some calls and then went silent.
Her phone either went dead or it was turned off, and she disappeared.
Her family desperately looked for her.
Knocking on doors at midnight with a flyer and a flashlight. We've been through every ditch, under every bridge.
There's been little evidence and no sightings. Andrea disappeared without a trace. Why?
I think somebody in her circle, if the worst happened, I think that's where it happened. Somebody connected with the wrong industry, the wrong hobbies, maybe involved in things that are illegal.
There's no sign of foul play, so Andrea's family is hopeful she's still out there. It's a bizarre search for a woman who spent her life searching for so many others.
I am not going to quit. I'm going to find out what happened to our friend.
And earlier, Jeff and Tori spoke with a reporter who has worked endlessly on this case. Take a look.
We're joined by investigative journalist Shay McAllister from WHAS 11 in Louisville, Kentucky. Thank you, Shay, for being here. This story is a terrible twist of fate. Andrea, a mother who actually helped search for missing people, ended up becoming the focus of a search herself. Do you believe, Shay, her involvement in that may have led to her disappearance? And what was her role in that group?
So Andrea was a volunteer with the group Missing in America. She participated in searches on the ground. She worked a lot on social media, and she really tried to help private investigators with whatever leads they were following.
So Shay, there was no signs of foul play. Is there any chance Andrea ran away? And what does her family believe at this point?
Her family is pretty split on what exactly happened to Andrea. I think part of the family wants to think that she is still alive because there is no sign of foul play. There's no proof that she's dead. The reality is there's been no sign of life for more than a year. So I think that they're real about that. And at this point, they just want to know what happened.
I get that when the family doesn't want to believe, but we all kind of know. There's still a chance, but yeah, I do. There's always hope. It's been a little over a year now. What new leads are police pursuing? Are there any that you can tell us about?
Sure. So in this case, the most common lead comes in the form of sightings. Over the last 16 months, there have been more than 200 sightings. The private investigator tells us he's going out all the time, and so is Andrea's family. When they get a call about someone who looks like Andrea or someone who's in a car that resembled something that she might be in, they always go and check it out. It happens all the time. At this point, there's been no confirmed sightings.
Wow. And just really quick, how involved is the family? Sometimes you see families that are really involved, bugging the police, getting after it. Is that what Andrea's family is like? Have you seen them try and publicize this story?
Absolutely. They keep this story on the forefront of everyone's minds here in Louisville, Kentucky, and even beyond Kentucky. There's a huge social media presence in the search for her. They've had sightings all over the country. They are very dedicated to finding answers.
And being a parent myself, if there was a 0.0001 chance that we could still find one of my sons, I mean, you never give up hope as a parent, and it's only been a year, so, you know, I don't blame the parents at all for keeping this investigation going.
Not at all. And Shay, thank you for keeping it publicized as well. Social media is great in that way. To learn more about this story, just visit WHAS11.com. You can also listen to a new podcast episode about this case. Just search True Crime Chronicles on your favorite podcast player. Again, Shay, thank you for keeping this in the news.
It's a takeover.
DBL is exactly
What we say it is. We are honest.
We'll always tell you what we really think.
What we really think.
This is absolutely laughable.
Are you serious?
We're not just reading the stories.
We're sharing our opinions
and having real conversations.
Because that is insane to me.
People are going to be upset. I can completely understand that.
Tell us your DBL take.
We want to know what you think.
You may agree with us, you may not, but that's the point.
It's a takeover. I mean, run this city.